Tonight from the Bluegrass, it's a continuation of a series of dates in 1917 and two teams trying to get right with an eye on the postseason.
Welcome to SEC Saturday night.
There's a party going on around town. It's one rowdy cowboy throwdown. Miles around, the best of the best come here to put their tough to the test. Give it all for gold or go home broke. When they open up that gate, welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight, where the Bayou City streets meet the country roads. Welcome to the show.
This is Kroger Field in Lexington, Kentucky, and welcome to SEC Saturday Night, presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Still a third of the season to play. May not seem like it, but Florida and Kentucky have opportunities to make it to the postseason. That makes this a must-win game for either side. Mark Stoops leads the Wildcats onto the field fresh off of a pivotal overtime win on the Plains against Auburn. Can they continue that momentum and finish the season making headlines? If so, the future of the program would remain in the hands of Mark Stoops. But a major question mark over this Kentucky team and the program. Do they have enough to finish? And in a series that was dominated by Florida with 31 consecutive wins and just a few seasons ago, can the Cats now return the favor? Kentucky is looking for its first SEC home win in 11 tries. Last time they got a win was against this very Florida program a couple of seasons ago. Now Mark Stoops going against an undermanned Florida team tonight with plenty to play for this Kentucky squad, and a Florida squad playing under an interim head coach. More on that in a moment. Let's get to the head cat. Mark Stoops is with Cole Kubler.
Coach, emotional win for you and your team last week. How do you build on that, maybe get a little bit more of it tonight?
Yeah, we've got to continue to execute, but we have to play with that same toughness and that attitude, and we have to play hard, and we have to execute in critical moments.
I've talked to you a lot about styles make fights. In a game where possession's most likely going to be limited for both teams, how do you let your team know how important each and every one's going to be?
Well, they know that. That's been our mantra the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's really one play at a time, one drive, one quarter. Let's take care of this game, but it comes with playing each play.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, and no mistaking the value of that win last week against Auburn. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers have been playing a freshman quarterback in Cutter Boley this season. That inconsistency has held them back at times. How do they manage that if they want to make it to the postseason?
Yeah, well, look, the bowl game is still the goal. And this is a proud program that was used to going to bowls every single year under Stoops. And when you have a young quarterback, you're going to have games like you did last week where the offense just couldn't find its footing. But how do you build on that? And also, at times, how do you play complementary football? That's where Brad White and this defense took over last week. You see the numbers there, 12 TFL, 7 sacks. They had 28 quarterback pressures, which is the most since we started tracking this in 2016. So the defense was absolutely on fire. And sometimes, like you said, when you have a young quarterback, that's what you need to do. And they're going to need some more of that tonight.
Well, on the Florida side, Billy Napier just didn't win enough, but he did recruit really well. They're loaded with 4- and 5-star players, including a quarterback and a wide receiver. But Cole, looks like some of those wide receivers won't be available tonight.
Absolutely. Eugene Wilson, Dallas Wilson, Tank Hawkins, all going to be out for the Florida Gators tonight. But I did talk to Coach Gonzalez before the game, and he let me know that a couple guys are going to try to give it a go. Vernell Brown III is going to give it a go tonight. Also, Aiden Maziel going to give it a go. Watched them in warm-ups. Both looked like they were full speed. Weren't sure if they were even going to give it a go at all earlier this week, Tom, but going to be out there for the Gators tonight, see if they can help a depleted wide receiver core.
All right, Cole, thanks. Kentucky won the toss, elected to defer, so Florida will receive, and we'll see just who will be out there from a wide receiver position. In terms of inconsistency with this Florida program, Jordan, including interims, Florida has had 8 different head coaches in the same span that Mark Stoops has been here at Kentucky.
Yeah, that's wild, and they're looking for the next one. But tonight, it's all about Jaden Baugh in this run game. Cole just mentioned the receivers that are out. That group is decimated. We'll get a good idea early of who is available, who can go. But this needs to be a Jaden Baugh run the football, backyard brawl type of game for Florida and Kentucky. In a rivalry that was lopsided for a long time and as of late has been very, very competitive.
Baugh had 5 touchdowns in this game last year. He does everything for him. He's back to return this opening kick. Aiden LaRosse has it on a tee for Kentucky. Cats have won 4 out of 7 head-to-head following Florida's 31-game win streak against Kentucky. And we are underway in the Bluegrass. No return for Florida. And so the much maligned sophomore quarterback DJ Lagway comes to the field, tied for 3rd in the country. He's thrown 9 picks this season. What do you see from him?
Well, I see a guy that is still one of the more physically gifted quarterbacks when it comes to arm ability. The problem is the consistency hasn't been there, and it starts with his feet. If you're looking for something to watch with this quarterback, his feet in the pocket have been something that have caused inconsistent throws, inaccurate throws. It plagued him last week against Georgia. If they can clean that up, get the ball out of his hands quickly, that's the best case scenario for this offense.
Florida's 123rd in the country, scoring 17 points a game against FBS competition. And here's Baugh on first down. Take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Hardee's.
Yeah, well, we saw one of them right there, Jaden Baugh. You're going to see a lot of him tonight. J. Michael Sturdivant is the only veteran receiver that's going to be out there for Florida. A lot of young guys behind him on the other side. Alex Safari and Sam Green. They know Florida wants to run the football. The physicality on that side of the ball from those 2 guys is going to be big tonight to slow Florida down.
TJ Abrams, the other wide receiver. He's at the top of the formation to Lagway's right. Not a capacity crowd, but a loud one at the outset. Lagway fires to Abrams, complete on the perimeter, brought down by J.Q. Hardaway. Both of these offenses struggle with explosive plays. I was talking with Mark Stoops on the field before the game. I said, kind of feels like 21 might win this. He said, I sure hope so. As Cole mentioned to him, his style of fight, 110th in the country in big play.
Yeah, for Florida, those big plays come when the run game starts to hit, and they come off play action. So they need to get Jaden Baugh going to have those downfield opportunities. Here on 3rd and medium, they got an empty set. They're going to need to protect DJ Lagway. Kentucky was great at getting at the quarterback last week against Auburn.
Gators struggled against Georgia on 3rd and 4th down in Jacksonville last week. Lagway trying to escape the pocket, and he cuts back into a host of blue shirts, but powers his way across the line and a Florida first down. That is 6 foot 3 inches and 247 pounds.
Well, it's a great job by Lagway. They took away his first option. He knows he's only got to pick up a couple yards, get the big frame going north and south there, run somebody over. That is not the guy that Jordan Lovett wanted to meet in the hole. Did all he could to try to bring him down, a first down for Florida.
Lovett had a big game last week in the win against Auburn. It was a close one and a slugfest. Out to TJ Abrams, the redshirt freshman from Fort Myers, only had 6 catches on the season. Well, we haven't seen Vernell Brown III, talented freshman, and now he is on the field with his 2nd and 10. Brown top of the formation. That is a great sign for Florida. If he can give it a go, he's been battling a shoulder injury. 2nd among FBS freshmen in receiving yards per game. Baugh taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's Sam Green on the stop for Kentucky.
Yeah, Vernell Brown, their #1 receiver on the year, 450 yards, almost double any other receiver. The talented freshman was banged up 2 weeks ago, missed the Georgia-Florida game, or Florida-Georgia game. Sorry, Gator fans.
Know the audience, yeah.
Last week, so how much he can go tonight is still in question, but him being out there, you got to think DJ's looking his way on 3rd and long.
They converted a 3rd down on a Lagway run to start this drive. 4-man rush over the middle. Caught! There's a first down. Vernell Brown III, as you mentioned, a gain of 22.
is a great job by DJ Lagway. Watch his eyes work to the right side first. His eyes are going to work this way. That's going to hold this safety backside and open up the lane right down the middle of the field for Brown.
Wanting to go deep again, and off the hands of Brown.
Boy, this offense is just different when Vernell Brown is out there. He's so explosive, so dynamic. And Kentucky's a defense that likes to play a lot of what we call post-high zone defense. It means they're going to have one safety in the middle of the field, a lot of deep zone, eyes on the receivers, letting everything short happen, and they'll rally to tackle. So tough defense to get explosive plays on.
Another chance for Baugh. Tried to break free, but he's swallowed up, and he loses a couple.
Boy, this defensive front for Kentucky was so good last week. So physical. Not a lot of guys that wowed you with their recruiting stars or their numbers, but it is a physical, talented group up front versus the run and getting after the quarterback.
What is 2 for 2 on third down so far tonight? This is their longest yet. Third down 12. Pocket holds. Lagway has it tipped and picked off. It's Ty Bryant. Ty Bryant to the near side, and the former baseball star at Frederick Douglass High School playing center field takes it away after a David Rayner tip.
Well, we've been talking a lot about the feet of DJ Lagway. It's the hitch to the right. He's late on this. This ball needs to be thrown without that big, exaggerated hitch. Watch his feet work right there. See that hitch, how he moved to the right and then threw back to the left? That's why he's late. Allowed the defender there to undercut. David Rayner, and the interception by Ty Bryant. Boy, after a couple good plays for Florida, those are the mistakes, the inconsistency we've seen out of DJ Lagway. And now another interception gives him double digits, third most in the country, most in the SEC, obviously. That's been the story of the year.
And it comes after a pair of third down conversions on that drive. Cutter Boley comes to the tight end, Josh Caddis, who gets taken down immediately, but a pickup of 4 on first down. Devin Moore the stop.
Yeah, this has been great to watch Cutter Boley develop as a young quarterback. First 4 games, a little up and down. He saw some good things, and in the last 3 games, the emphasis has been get the ball out of his hands quickly. Allow him to make fast decisions. They've really changed schematically who they are in the passing game, and it's looked a lot better for Boley at times.
They've been leaning on #1 Kendrick Law, and now Seth McGowan takes it across the left side. To meet the impact players, brought to you by Hardee's, with Kentucky having the ball.
Yeah, you mentioned Seth McGowan. They got to get him going on the ground. He's their most explosive player in the backfield. Kendrick Law, he's their guy. They're going to get the ball out in space. Let him try to make a guy miss. Great speed and athleticism. And on the other side, Jordan Castell and George Gumbs. Massive games last week for both those guys against Georgia. They'll be all over the field tonight.
Third down 3. Neither one of these teams has been good on third down conversions this season. And floated into the hands over the shoulder. Hardly Gilmore, the 4th, converts the third down. Beautiful touch by the young quarterback, Cutter Boley.
Yeah, watch the defender underneath, trailing this route from Hardly Gilmore. And he's got to put this over the top of the defender. Puts a little air on it right out in front. That is a difficult throw, because that's not how it usually looks at practice. That's usually just a line drive out there to the flats. Great little adjustment from this young quarterback.
Now Jason Patterson in at running back for Kentucky. The defense has been solid all season for Florida. Patterson gets a try, and he gets taken down for a loss of 1. George Gumbs Jr. Jordan coming off of a massive game against Georgia. He had 9 stops.
9 tackles, a sack. Probably could have had a couple more sacks. He brought down Gunnar Stockton like at the line of scrimmage and 1 yard past the line of scrimmage a couple times. They could not block number 34 last week. Better believe this Kentucky offensive line is going to know where he is on every snap.
Not bad for a guy who started his career at Northern Illinois on the offensive side of the ball. McGowan releases from the backfield. Boley has time, double clutches, and then squeezes it out late. So the kind of misses he had last week against Auburn, which caused this offense to stall.
And this is one of the things that offensive coordinator Bush Hamden discussed, right? He said, I really want Cutter to go 1 to 2, maybe to his third read, and then run vertical. That's when he's at his best. Not trying to extend plays to the sideline, but getting vertical, using his legs after 1 or 2 quick reads. There you saw him just to try to buy time and didn't end up finding anybody.
They're down 11. DJ Miller, the freshman, came in motion. Here comes perceived pressure, and they get it to Miller against the zone, and he takes it for the first down on a pickup of 15.
Boy, this is great. He's going to recognize blitz coming from Jordan Castell off this side. Gums is going to drop back on this side, and he beats him with a quick throw to the inside. A defensive end in space is going to get lost a little bit, so it's a great job of Cutter trusting, knowing he needs to throw opposite to the blitz, finding his hot route, and trusting him.
Slide protection has its place. Worked right there.
Yeah, there we go.
Only 3 for 4 start. Free blitzer coming, and it's knocked away.
Cole, I think that's the first time I've ever heard you say anything positive about slide protection.
It definitely has its place. And one thing I'll say about this Kentucky offensive line, they're getting a lot of different looks here early, off the edge, inside. DJ Durkin threw a lot of them last week. They sorted it out extremely well. Now, you're still going to get a hit on the quarterback. You're still going to get some pressure. You can't pick everybody up, but just how they figured out who was supposed to be where did an excellent job last week.
They reinvested in the offensive line in the offseason. Here's a handoff to Kendrick Law, and he gets ripped down after a gain of a couple. Castell is there. He's coming off of a career-high 11 tackles against Georgia.
Yeah, one of those wrinkles that Bush Hamden said we should expect. Getting Kendrick Law in the backfield, finding as many ways as possible to get him involved, get him touches. He's the guy that's going to get them explosive plays on the outside.
Been a productive couple of weeks for Law, transferred from Alabama. Pressure from the right side, spits it out to the left, and incomplete through the hands of Dante Dowdell.
Boy, once again, pressure from this Florida defense, and Ron Roberts dialing up, which is not something they do. They're actually last in the entire country in blitz percentage, but already tonight we're seeing Ron Roberts and this Florida defense bring the heat against the young quarterback, trying to force him into a mistake, force him to make quick decisions.
So Jacob Coway on to attempt a 39-yarder. Hasn't missed inside 40 this season, and that remains true. Mark Stokes' team able to cash in on its opening drive. 10 plays, 30 yards, and Coway with his 12th make of the season. Maybe a low-scoring game tonight here in the Commonwealth, and the Cats have the early advantage.
get chills when we call one of these games.
Legends are made in that building right there. We on a whole nother level. Bigger than ever we've been. SEC champions.
Early lead for Kentucky, 3-0 after Cat's first possession, and Florida with a DJ Lagway interception. Cole mentioned it to Mark Stoops as maybe a game of limited possessions tonight because of lack of explosiveness from both sides, but their ability to string together drives. Jaden Baugh averages 27 yards per return. They kick it the other way, and no return for Florida. Let's learn more about the Kentucky defense.
Yeah, simulated pressures last week were massive and led to a lot of the problems for this Auburn offense. It looks like 6 or 7 guys are going to come, but when they drop out, only 4 are coming. So you don't sacrifice anybody on the back end in coverage, but it looks and feels like blitz to the offensive line. Again, 4 guys up here this time. Linebacker's going to come off the side. This looks like blitz to the offensive line, but because they drop the end off on the other side, it's still only a 4-man rush, but you create one-on-one matchups like you do over the middle of the ball there, and led to a lot of success getting after the quarterback last week without sacrificing guys in coverage.
They've gone against young or rookie centers in 2 big conference games, Cole, both against Texas and last week against Auburn. They don't have that same luxury tonight with Jake Slaughter in the middle for Florida.
Jake Slaughter runs the show. That was the exact quote we got from Billy Gonzalez, talking to DJ Lagway as well. Just how important it is to have a vet that can just handle things, do things the right way. Jake Slaughter, extremely valuable to this Florida football team.
He's allowed 1 sack on 499 snaps coming into tonight's game. 5 yards on first down. Here's Baugh again. And Baugh gets taken down after gain of a couple with Rayner. Now Lagway's got to figure it out on 3rd and 3. They converted a pair of 3rd downs on their first possession, including one on a quarterback scramble. 4 wide, but one of them is a tight end, Hansen. To the outside and caught by J. Michael Sturdivant, 5th-year senior out of Kansas City by way of UCLA.
And remember, there's different play callers here in the booth, and I say play callers because Russ Callaway there on the left is the offensive coordinator. Ryan O'Hara on the right, or center screen, is the quarterback coach who's going to be calling the plays. So it's a combined effort in the booth to put this game plan together. Remember, Billy Napier was the sole play caller for 4 years. They really wanted Ryan O'Hara to call the plays because he's DJ's quarterback coach. So those little tips and tendencies and things, the way he communicates the play, didn't want any change in what DJ hears or how he's delivered the information.
Well, they're trying a collaborative effort. Steve Spurrier Jr. is the quarterback coach on the field. Lagway breaks another tackle or 2, and he gets folded over past midfield. And Florida will be looking at 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that's a play we saw a couple times last week against Georgia. It's a read play. They're going to vacate the backfield. If a linebacker runs with DJ, he's got the quarterback draw, and here comes a sneak.
You know, it was a different wrinkle for that offense last week, too, Jordan. I feel like it added a lot when it was north and south. Now, the east-west up, I know he bounced that last play just a little bit, but when he started getting outside the tackle, you can tell it's like, I don't know if that's the best direction, but when he's asked to just get north and south, DJ adds a lot to that offense on the ground.
Now Baugh with the bounce to the outside, and like he was going to try to cut back before Ty Bryant brought him down.
And Baugh had a massive game last year against Kentucky, 5 touchdowns, well over 100 yards in that one.
Tied the school record held by Trey Burton, who did it against Kentucky in 2010, and Tebow against South Carolina 07.
That guy was okay.
Not bad. Something was going on the Florida sideline. The result is a flag, and Lagway drops it in the bucket to J. Michael Sturdivant. They say it's complete. We got a lot going on, and what is a 19-yard completion But the head linesman has a flag down at the 43-yard line. That one's coming back.
Illegal formation, offense, more than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Well, Billy Gonzalez was trying to catch his offense's attention pre-snap.
Yeah, one of these receivers down here at the bottom has got to be on the ball. They are both off the ball. That means 5 guys off the line of scrimmage. Billy Gonzalez, obviously the interim head coach. He was the receivers coach, so that's his room, but he's kind of splitting duties now.
He's been there under 3 different head coaches, a dozen years in total on the Florida staff. Baugh again bends it back to the inside. Another stop for Ty Bryant.
Well, this receivers group decimated. Aiden Mizell, a guy that was a question mark coming into this game, how available, how much he'd be able to go. So Mizell and Vernell Brown III out there at the top of your screen in a stack formation. It's good to see for Florida fans.
Baugh split out. Now he returns to Lagway. They're 4-5 on 3rd down tonight. Lagway going deep and incomplete. That was Mizell. Blanketed by J.Q. Hardaway. Mizell had a step, came back right through the bucket. All right, thank you, gentlemen. We welcome those of you who watched Vanderbilt survive in overtime over Auburn 45-38. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik at Kroger Field in Lexington, where Florida is on its 2nd possession of the game, but punting it away. DJ Lagway threw his 10th interception of the season on Florida's 1st possession, and then Kentucky settled for a field goal. Kamori Macklin back healthy again, and he muffs this one into the hands of the Gators. The long snapper, Rocco Underwood. Right place, right time, and now a short field for the Gators. Macklin was not available last week. He was injured. They switched punt returners. They went back to him for his dependability tonight and for the style of kicks they'll see from Florida. This one went right off his fingertips.
Look at the hands by the long snapper here. Macklin just didn't get close enough to the ball, didn't track it well. Look at the hands. Pull it away from him.
Snagged it out of there.
Snagged it. Well, you don't practice that often. That is a great job. And obviously you mentioned it, Tom. DJ Lagway had the interception earlier that led to a turnover, something we've seen a lot from them. So when you're struggling, you need special teams to come through at times, bail you out. And now great field position here for Florida.
And we expect it to be a low-scoring, low-possession game. Florida's 123rd in the country in scoring against FBS opponents, only 17 points per game.
You just wonder how many of these possessions you're going to get this kind of field position. Obviously get a starting spot where you're already in scoring position, and then just how many you're going to be in. Does that force your offense to get aggressive at some point, more aggressive defensively? How do you play it?
Baugh gets a touch and he gets swallowed up. And obviously he's a point of emphasis for this Kentucky defense after what he did in this matchup last year when he ran for 5 touchdowns.
And this is an area of the field, the red zone, where Florida on paper is really good. They're top 10 in the FBS in score percentage, but they're 93rd in touchdown rate. So not converting enough touchdowns here. And here we go, DJ with the run.
And a little stiff arm to get a couple more yards.
And I like that. I like the play call. Add an extra hat to the point of attack, an extra blocker. Get your quarterback involved, but again, another 3rd down here for Florida. Vernell Brown III trots back onto the field. He was a big question mark coming into this game. If you're just joining us, he has been out there and already made a couple big plays.
They're without 3 key receivers, including Eugene Wilson III. It's out due to foot surgery, and Tank Hawkins is protecting his red shirt. He's played 4 games and doesn't want to play anymore. 3rd and 7. Oh, over the middle, complete, and a dive in for the touchdown. That's Baugh, one of the best receiving running backs in the SEC, and a 10-yard strike from Lagway.
Well, I want you to watch Godfrey right here in the middle. He's got to have eyes on Jaden Baugh. There's nobody else. He works to the left. Baugh is going to be on an angle route. No reason for Godfrey to be working that direction. The other linebacker was already over there, so that is a coverage bust by Kentucky. And a great job by DJ Lagway and this Florida team punching it in off the turnover.
Trey Smack on for the point after. And he punches it through. A third of the season left for both of these programs in a pivotal game that they want to play in the postseason. Lagway has thrown a pick, and now he's thrown a touchdown. And the Gators have their first lead of the night.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet and in part by Target, where game day meets the holidays.
Already plenty of action in this one. Kentucky with a field goal on its opening drive after the pick. And then Florida took advantage of the muff punt, recovered by the long snapper Rocco Underwood, to find Jaden Baugh, who's got a 6th touchdown in 5 quarters against Kentucky. Meanwhile, Steve Spurrier Jr. going over the chart with DJ Lagway. And Kendrick Law back to return for Kentucky. Trey Smack III has it on a tee. Kentucky was gifted short field position after that Lagway interception, but couldn't take advantage. And this one through the back of the end zone. This was a series that was absolutely dominated by Florida from 1987 on. They won 31 consecutive games head-to-head before the Cats finally broke through. And since then, Kentucky has gone on a nice little run of its own, including 2 straight here. And talking to Mark Stoops about it, he said, I absolutely looked at this game as a benchmark because we were so close towards the end of that 31. So when I first got here, all I heard about was Florida, Florida, Florida in the streak. And I thought, we can't worry about that. We got to build a program. Then they built and still couldn't get over that hump. So the win down at the Swamp in 2018 was a moment of joy and pride for Stoops. It had signaled to him, to this fan base, and to the SEC that the program had arrived. Foley trying to check it down to Law after the pump fake. That was dangerous. And ill-advised as it ends up losing a handful of yards, and we got some extra pushing and shoving. It's a loss of 7.
Yeah, it was the right decision by Boley. They're trying to pump the throw to Law and hit a shot downfield, but Cameron James for Florida got in the face of Cutter Boley, caused that ball to flutter and sail a little bit. And now well behind the sticks.
Boley hands it off, and a beautiful run by Seth McGowan. A nice visit with Seth this week, who started his college career at Oklahoma, got into legal trouble and had to bounce through a couple of different junior colleges, then New Mexico State, and now he's turned into a leader on this Kentucky offense. Cole, he's a guy that Bush Hamdan can lean on.
I love the fact that Bush Hamdan said when things begin to go haywire at practice, he can look over to him and just say, really? And he's the only guy that can kind of get everybody back in line. Doesn't have to say much to be able to get that done either.
He said his various stops.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Really built his leadership skills, dealing with guys with different goals, different skill sets. Low scoring first quarter as expected. Florida has the lead in a series that dates in 1917. Cats and Gators to the second quarter. Billy Gonzalez moments ago with Cole Kublik.
Coach, you told me number one thing on your list when we talked before the game, protect the quarterback, obviously protect the football as well. Second hasn't happened, but how do you feel about the first, and how can you build on that offensively the rest of the way?
We got to continue to keep pressing forward. I obviously would like to continue to keep running, and we've hit some solid runs, but then we've been stagnant in a couple of the runs. The pass game has been solid. They've been playing zone. They played one snap of man-to-man coverage, so we've got to be able to take advantage of it. We threw a chopper, a fade route to Aiden, a little underthrown, but we want to be able to say we're going to go make that play as well to be successful.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Cole, great job. Cutter Boley to Willie Rodriguez, and now going to the perimeter, and that is hauled in by Kendrick Law. Good for a first down.
But I love the tempo there coming off that first play. Kind of caught Florida off guard for a second. A lot of communication issues in the back end there, and led to another chunk play.
This is only the second possession of the game for Kentucky. A muffed punt limited them to only one crack at it in the first quarter. Dante Dowdell rips off 7 on first down.
Once again, Kentucky going with a little bit of tempo.
Simplifies it for the redshirt freshman quarterback. Pressure from the edge goes right to him. DJ Miller squeezes through for the first down.
But DJ Miller's a guy that's going to be really good as he starts to develop. Just his 4th game, first snaps of the year, came against Texas. Went for 120 yards and a couple touchdowns against Tennessee a couple weeks ago. He's got a bright future.
Full steam ahead for Dante Dowdell. Well, both of these offensive coordinators throughout the course of the season have tried to simplify it for the young quarterbacks. For Kentucky and OC Bush Hamdan, it's about getting the ball out quickly and eliminating some of the post-snap decision making. They got trips to the near side. They don't show that very often. And Dowdell once again called on. Sharif Denson the stop.
Yeah, tempoed into actually quads because they had the 3 receivers down there and the tight end to that side. So they are forcing this Florida defense right now to communicate, to make adjustments based off formations. And they're sprinkling a little tempo in right now. I love what Bush Hamdan's doing on this drive.
And now he's got man coverage downfield, and is caught, and a pylon touch for J.J. Hester. Touchdown, Kentucky. 29-yard strike for Boley. What amazing awareness by Hester to put the ball on the pylon for the score. Pylon's inbounds, you touch it, it's a score.
Watch Jaden Woods run right by Cutter Boley on the play fake. Number 15 right there. I mean, he could have blown up Cutter Boley, gets fooled by the play action, and a great ball on the back shoulder to the big target, J.J. Hester, 6'5", 203, the transfer from Oklahoma.
That's why we pay for pylon cam right there.
Great shot.
Point after from Coway is good. And Kentucky swings back in front. Cutter Boley's 11th touchdown pass of the season. Cats have had 2 possessions. They drew first blood, and now they draw it again. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. Kentucky had a field goal on its opening possession. Missed out on their next possession thanks to a muff punt, then a 9-play, 75-yard drive. Get on the board, and back in front. And a sidewinder through the back of the end zone and no return. So Florida's looking for a head coach once again, and this is the standard that they're looking to hire against. Steve Spurrier won it all in '96. Urban Meyer won 2 national titles. Since then, well, not much success. Muschamp, McElwain, Mullen, and then Billy Napier had the worst record among that group. Shown the door before the bye week this year, and a .589 combined winning percentage. Those 4 coaches since. Billy Gonzalez was on numerous staffs going back to the national titles with Urban Meyer. And now he's the interim head coach to close out this season. Here's Baugh straight ahead, and he picks up 8. That is a tough standard to live up to, but Scott Strickland talking to us before the game, he said, I like the fact that we have a big pool to choose from and people are answering the phone when we call.
Yeah, everybody's going to answer the phone when Florida calls. Obviously the brand recognition, the history, but also the resources.
Aiden Mizell stays on his feet for a first down.
Especially in the last few years, the resources for NIL, the resources for facilities, everything kind of from a synergy standpoint, moving in the right direction for Florida makes it very attractive.
The recruiting was amazing under Billy Napier. I mean, the blue chips on this roster are up against the best in the country, 12th in the country in terms of 4 and 5 stars that have seen the field for Florida over the last few seasons. Now, that is limited significantly tonight due to injuries and opt-outs with the wide receivers, and a big tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's Grant Godfrey with the stop. But Napier got it done in recruiting, didn't get it done on the field. 52 blue chip signees since 22.
Yeah, and that's part of the allure of Florida as well, is the proximity to talent, not just in Florida, but in Georgia. You can drive an hour in any direction and find a handful of 4 and 5 stars all over the place. So talent hasn't been the issue here at Florida. It's been development, it's been scheme, it's been sustaining success at times, those moments that you have it.
And Lagway, great example of that. Consensus 5-star recruit, took a step back this season after a good freshman campaign. He finds J. Michael Sturdivant. Sturdivant set a school record at Flower Mound High School in Marcus, Texas in terms of touchdowns and yardage. That's good for a first down.
And one way in the last few weeks that this new staff, well, not new staff, but guys in new roles trying to get the most out of DJ Lagway has been less movement pre-snap, less motions, less shifts, trying to simplify things so that DJ can process a little bit faster, have a better plan pre-snap, and hopefully a better result post-snap.
We got a whistle pre-snap.
Timeout, Florida.
We'll take the timeout with them. Florida will stop the clock. 10:23 to go in the second quarter. Down a field goal. at the head coaching position. They also lost their play caller, Billy Napier. Now Russ Callaway is on the mic, providing the play options. Ryan O'Hara on the mic into the quarterback's headset. And Russ telling us to simplify. We cut out a lot of this movement.
Yeah, this is a team that has moved more than anybody pre-snap. And you see last week against Georgia, that was the lowest pre-snap movement percentage of any game in the last 3 years. They only had one other game under 50% over the last 3 years. So a drastic change for this Florida offense.
Long throw to TJ Abrams, and he picks up 6.
And think about it. On one hand, movement is great because it makes the defense think and communicate pre-snap. On the other hand, for a quarterback, things change right before the ball is snapped. So your plan changes as well. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. And for DJ, just clearing the picture has allowed him to play a little faster.
And it's not the only way they've simplified things for DJ Lagway over the last 2 games, maybe even more so tonight. There's Katie Daniels. The ball came out. Kentucky thinks they have it. No signal from the officiating crew, though the Cats left with the football.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Kentucky.
And the ball was loose. Cam Dooley ends up picking up the loose ball. It's a second takeaway for the Cats tonight.
Oh, it actually looks like it hit the leg of Cameron Waits, the offensive lineman there, 75 for Florida. I think the right calf maybe. Well, we talked about it. Possessions were going to be limited in a game like this. We already saw the turnover on the interception from DJ Lagway. We saw the special teams mishap by Jamori Macklin. And now Kentucky gets one back on the fumble. Let's see if Cutter Boley can build on a really good last drive, a great touchdown throw. Bush Hamden mentioned we need to have a growth mentality as an offense, but a growth mentality for his quarterback, Cutter Boley. Don't ride the highs, the same as you don't want to ride the lows. Take something from each snap, each drive, and try to build on it.
Well, for those of you that weren't with us for our award-winning Open, Jordan pointed out that this Kentucky defense has been a security blanket for Boley, who, like many young quarterbacks, has been inconsistent. Seth McGowan over the right side and fights for plenty of extra yardage. He picks up 5, and so that allows you some wiggle room to be inconsistent, even though that's not what you want.
No doubt. Yeah, when your defense plays the way it did against Auburn last week, an Auburn team that put up 38 on Vanderbilt today in overtime. Not a shabby offense, and Kentucky shut them out last week and really helped because Cutter just wasn't seeing things clear. Threw a couple interceptions, could have had a couple more last week.
He was off target a lot, and they run it right side. Just 18 of 29 for 161 in the win against Auburn. Now 3rd down and 3 on the field. Cats are 3 and 4 on 3rd down tonight.
That true freshman Cameron Miller trotting out there at the top of your screen. Number 22, dynamic young athlete.
Boley goes over the middle, and a crossing route caught, but short of the sticks by Hardly Gilmore. And that'll be 4th and inches. Bryce Thornton the stop.
Well, I don't even think they're thinking about this one.
What's really interesting, given the style and speed of this game, they're going to go big, and they go jumbo. 5 of 12 on 4th down this season. Kenyatta Harge II, a defensive lineman, number 98, is going to be in the backfield, along with Josh Caddis, the tight end, and a direct snap to McGowan, and he is through to extend this possession for Kentucky.
You bring a defender in, number 98, to the right of McGowan here. You got to hit somebody. You only get a few opportunities to do this. You can't win. I mean, he did his job, though. As long as you make that defender go outside of you, you're protecting the runner from the inside. But if you're a defender, you got to go lay somebody out. Either way, first down. Good play call.
And a bounce to the outside by McGowan. Cole, really interesting story spending time with Seth McGowan this week and learning how he views leadership.
Well, I tell you, he's been through a lot in his life, made some mistakes, and just talk about kind of distributing that to these players, the appreciation for what he has, the appreciation for what they should have as a college football player. Talk about how much he loves the game. He's given the game his life. And just cool to hear that he's now trying to help some of the younger guys on this Kentucky football team share that appreciation for what they're able to do every day.
Lincoln Riley kicked him off the team at Oklahoma after an arrest and conviction sent McGowan to jail, but he told us this week he still remembers that Cotton Bowl that he played for Oklahoma against Florida, and he had a big game for a youngster. 7 games for the Sooners in 20. Out of the game for a year at Texas College NAIA just to get his grades up, then returned to playing in 23 and in New Mexico State in 24. Kendrick Law in motion. Boley going that direction, and that is caught at the sideline, and a first down conversion. By the way, do you think in New Mexico State, you know, you walk into facilities and they have pictures of all their pro guys on the hallways? They do that in Kentucky basketball in the practice gym. Do you think they have pictures in New Mexico State of all the SEC guys they've sent to this league?
I know, right? Eli Stowers, Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt.
And this guy, Seth McGowan, who takes it to the 20, and Florida now running at will. Kentucky.
Shiaz Pete, the left tackle as well, a New Mexico State guy.
I was looking at Pete's teammates. Star Thomas at Tennessee was there.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan Brady at Indiana, who got a big win today. He was there. Sterling Webb, defensive end at Missouri, was there also.
All roads start in Las Cruces. Here's McGowan taken down just past the line of scrimmage. Cameron James with the stop for Florida. Mentioned Shiaz Pete, the big left tackle, 6'8", 322. Shiaz in Navajo represents my little one. It is anything but, with his size, one of 5 Native Americans in FBS football. Going to flip him over to the right side now. 3rd down 3. Gowan trying to squeeze through, and he is just short. Do you take the points, or you go for it again?
Well, I think you already rolled the dice at midfield. That set the tone for this entire drive. I don't think you trot the field goal unit out. After doing that, you try to capitalize on the momentum of this drive, and they will.
I'll say this, offensive line coach Eric Wolford, I asked him, I said, what's one thing you need to see early in this game? He said, we want to try to lean on them. We want to try to push these guys around a little bit, make sure they want to play our style football tonight. Seeing the aggressive nature here early from Coach Stoops.
Extra lineman to the right again.
Law in motion. And around the edge. Picks up the first down. Kentucky's season was defined by their goal line failures against Texas, and now in short yardage situations they've succeeded twice in this drive.
Yeah, and I love the little wrinkle. You get your left tackle Shiaz Pete, the last 2 plays you flip him over to the right side, so you got a little heavier set to that right side, force Florida to adjust to the unbalanced nature of it, and then you get your best player with speed on a motion with the ball on the edge.
This will be the 12th play of the drive. Going to keep their foot on the neck of a program that's playing under an interim coach. Boley down the sideline. Touchdown, Jason Patterson. First receiving touchdown of the career of the Florida native out of Sneads, Florida, Jason Patterson, and Boley's thrown 2 tonight. It was a short field after the fumble, and the Cats cover 59 yards in 12 plays, and Mark Stoops has to feel good about where this game stands right now. You always wonder with a team that's playing under an interim coach, can you get them on the ropes early, and can that carry?
And Cutter Boley taking advantage of it. I love the subtlety. Watch the eyes. He's going to get Devin Moore to question. Devin Moore, the right side of your screen right now, sees the eyes inside. It allows Patterson to get outside, and Kentucky answers.
Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. If you didn't know T-Mobile has home internet, you do now.
76 meeting between these programs, and there have been some star performances for Florida. Mostly part of that 31-game win streak. Tebow in 07, but then in 09 here, left the game early due to a concussion, ended up in the hospital. Gonzalez has been a part of this rivalry, 3 different Florida coaching staffs. Now he's the interim head coach. Florida didn't have a losing season between 1980 and 2010. Now they have their 5th since 2011. No return for the Gators. Cats lead by 10 biggins. And now the pressure on DJ Lagway to try to find some rhythm. Thought this might be a low-scoring game with limited possessions. Florida averages 12 possessions a game, about the same as Kentucky. And Cole, you expect this trend to continue tonight?
I definitely don't think Kentucky's about to ramp up the offense or the tempo, the pace, even though they did a little bit earlier in the game. This is about where they want it right now. You'd imagine they'll try to slow things down, even though Florida probably go 2-minute here before the half.
Cats +5 in time of possession. Lagway crossing route incomplete. High and wide of Vernell Brown III, the freshman out of Jones High School in Gainesville.
I don't think you bank on turnovers for extra possessions in the second half. The way the offenses have been sort of milking the clock, running the clock by maintaining possession in the first half. I'd imagine it to mirror that in the 3rd and 4th quarters.
Dallas Wilson unavailable. Trey Wilson unavailable. 2 star receivers for Florida. On a 4-man rush, it's a check down and a turn upfield by Jaden Baugh. And that will leave 3rd and a couple. Maybe a little bit longer.
Getting Baugh involved in the pass game was an emphasis last week for Russ Callaway in this offense. Russ said Baugh is one of our best receivers, period. Want to try to get him more involved. It's not as easy against this scheme that Kentucky has as it was against Georgia, but helped out there to set up a more manageable 3rd down.
Gators have turned on the trend. They've been sensational on 3rd down tonight. Another check down and behind Baugh, incomplete. 4th and 4 with 2:47 remaining in the half, and here comes the Florida punt team.
Yeah, that time DJ just got a little impatient getting to the check down. His 1st and 2nd read weren't there, but he didn't have pressure on it. If he holds that just a little bit longer.
Number 46 for Florida is wearing 82.
It allows Baugh to at least get his head around. Maybe had a chance there, but
the electric Kendrick Law stands at his 27. Tommy Doman has been great all season. That is not a typical result. It took a Kentucky hop, and it's only a 24-yard punt. 2:38 remaining from Lexington, Kentucky, where the Cats are looking for the first conference win of the year. 10-point Kentucky lead on Florida, and this week is Sports Communicators Membership Appreciation this week. Tonight we recognize Scott Burns of Florida and Susan Lax of Kentucky, better known as Slack. She does about everything for this program and these players. Got to start on the women's basketball side, and as respected as any, Sports Information Director working under the Hall of Famer Tony Neely, or with the Hall of Famer Tony Neely here at Kentucky. And not only that, for a heck of a birthday party last night.
Yeah? I didn't get the invite. Where was the party at?
We went to the Vine. Great new place. Yeah, next time
heard
you're
of
in.
it.
Yeah. Balance it out. Then Austin City Limits. Yeah. Little good. Little dirty floor. Finish. Productive second quarter. Kentucky held to just one first quarter drive. And they're going to bleed every second. In fact, this will take us to the 2-minute timeout. And then Mark Stoops will take a 10-point lead under 2 minutes in the first half. They've been living on the edge all season. See if they take a chance to try to punch it in. The defense has been fantastic, and the Cats lead by 10. Good enough. We want to get some updates. Seth McGowan dances his way down the sideline, and that is near a first down. And in fact, it will be gain of 11 on first down. I'm hard. Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik. Kentucky trying to choke slam Florida, throw them on a table here before the first half comes to an end.
Oh, didn't know you were that violent, Tom. You've been watching too much WWE.
Something like that, or Ohio Valley. Bully goes to the outside, and a spin by Kendrick Law breaks free, caught some friendly fire at the 20, but it's a pickup of 25.
That is the exact same play they hit last drive to Kendrick Law. They motion him from one side to the other. Then the star or nickel Sharif Denson's got to follow him. Great play design, and right now Kentucky is just in rhythm, attacking this zone match defense from Florida with perfection.
Four-man rush. Boley lets it go down to the 2. Out of bounds, Jamori Macklin. Macklin missed last week's game with an injury. Product of St. Louis out of Kirkwood High School, who started at Missouri.
Well, Cutter Boley just looks like a different quarterback the last couple drives. The ball to the perimeter and downfield has been really accurate, on time. He's using his eyes to look off defenders. That time looked Devin Moore off to the flat, which held him just a tick and allowed him to complete that one over the top.
11 consecutive completions for the pride of Hodgenville, Kentucky. Here's McGowan and an open door to the end zone. Now Mark Stoops and I were talking pregame, and I said maybe 21's enough to win it. They've already put 23 on the board. Kids are losing their shirts, and we're still a point after away from adding to the tally. Remember when we were down in Gainesville in 2018 and they had lost 31 in a row, and we were just kind of having fun with the way the series had gone, and you'd have to get in the Wayback Machine to 87 to find the last time they won. Now I get the feeling that Florida might feel like that. Conway with the point after.
Just hope Cole doesn't jump in a pool again. Boy, big plays have been the story for Cutter Boley. I love the design, getting Kendrick Law in one-on-one matchups downfield, letting him do the rest with the ball in his hands after. And this is a great read and throw by Cutter Boley, holding Devin Moore in the flats, then squeezing that one in the honey hole, that cover 2 look to Jamori Macklin before Seth McGowan punches it in for the 3rd straight touchdown drive for this Kentucky offense. I mean, they just look night and day different. Remember last week, and I know Auburn, one of the better defenses in the SEC, but Florida ain't shabby either. They've been really good on that side of the ball. Kentucky just 1 touchdown last week. 3 in 4 drives tonight.
Now, for Florida's hopefuls, they can look at this game last year and remember that the Gators jumped out to a big lead behind the running of Baugh, and then Kentucky was able to close back to within a touchdown. And Baugh put it away late, but it was a big second quarter that gave Florida the lead. This series has had a little bit of everything over the course of the season. But this is the highest scoring quarter of the year for Kentucky. A 3-touchdown frame. What a change of pace for an offense that had failed to score more than 14 in 4 of their last 5 games against SEC opponents.
Yeah, and this is a crucial drive for Florida. Anytime you got a coach that's been fired, your record is what it is. You have a locker room that is wanting to still win football games, wanting to be competitive, but also kind of looking to what the future might hold for them, for their program, who the coach is going to be. This drive right now needs to keep this Florida team in this football game before it gets out of hand.
And Kentucky will get the ball, or have the option to take the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Lagway dances his way to a pickup of 8. Clock rolling, 1:15, and 2 timeouts remaining. Vernell Brown, the best deep ball threat on the field.
Yeah, and there's been a couple opportunities tonight that DJ has missed, getting Vernell Brown on those over routes right behind the linebackers.
Completion to the edge to Aiden Mizell, sophomore out of Boone in Orlando, and that'll stop the clock for a moment.
Florida had success with those over routes last year in this game, Jordan. That's one thing I know that staff was a little bit concerned about seeing more of tonight.
And still 2 timeouts in your pocket, so sense of urgency, but no need to rush just yet.
Mizell in motion. Four-man rush. They win the line of scrimmage down the field to Hayden Hansen. Cole, we saw Kentucky win with a couple of games up front last week when the first man got through.
Yeah, those inside moves, the penetrators on some of the twists, they were getting home against Auburn last week, and it just gives you an idea of how physical this front can be when you're basically trying to go occupy bodies. Yet you're putting forth enough effort to where you're actually the one that ends up getting the pressure on the quarterback.
Jaden Williams, Khalil Saunders. Four-man rush again. This time the pocket holds, and Lagway lobs it downfield, overthrows man. He's picked off for the second time tonight. Quaysheed Scott on the return. Sheds a would-be tackler. He's got the sideline, and he's finally brought down. Lagway forced him out of bounds, and it is a Grove Street party here in Lexington tonight. A chance to add on to a 24-7 lead. That was a 55-yard return.
Well, this is going to be cover two. So you got two safeties, deep halves, and this route's going to be right down the middle. This ball has to be completed before 25 yards downfield. You can't give those safeties time to redirect. That ball has way too much air on it. That ball has to be on a line. You cannot let a cover two safety that's headed towards the sideline redirect and intercept that ball over the middle of the field. It is a great play by Quaysheed Scott, but a mistake by DJ Lagway, leaving that too far downfield with too much air.
And now 35 seconds remain. Kentucky has all three timeouts. Bowling gets rid of it before getting sacked. And now 30 seconds left on a 2nd and 10. Algonza Hayward brought the pressure.
And those are the times you just kind of scratch your head, because you know, in high school, your first week on Florida, if you're going cover two and you have a seam down the middle of the field, you can't let that ball go that deep downfield. The safety can redirect and get it. That's a level 2 ball on a line 22 yards downfield.
I want to follow up on that if we have time on this second down play for Kentucky. Boley trying to run with it. They're going to have to use a timeout when he goes down. And the ball came loose, but they say he was down. A lot has been made of all the time that was missed by DJ Lagway in the offseason. And because of that, as they want to make sure it's Kentucky ball, because of that, staff has said he missed a lot of developmental time throughout the summer, through the fall. Billy Napier mentioned he wasn't available until 10 days before their first game. But what you're saying is that was such a basic play and route that missed time shouldn't matter.
Yeah, if you played football, you've played quarterback, you know in cover two, you got to get the ball downfield, down the middle, or down the sidelines, but it's got to be 18 to 22, maybe 25 yards down the middle, but any further downfield than that, you give safeties time to redirect. So his feet have been a big issue this year. The urgency, he has to speed his drops up so his decisions match that. Right now his feet are a little bit slow, and that ball also a little too much air on it, so it was two mistakes there that led to the interception.
Ball carrier down before losing possession. The previous play is under further review.
That was knocked out. The question will be, was there clear and immediate recovery? Devin Moore ended up with it for Florida.
I think that ball definitely out, and I think,
pardon me, it was Aaron Childs, I think, who came up with it. Moore is the one who punched it free. And one of the things to look at, did Boley have possession with his knee down after the ball was loose?
You can see the ball is going to come out definitely before, but right here when he lands on top of it, does he regain possession there? No, I don't think so.
His right hand was on it, but regardless, this would be a huge stop for the Florida defense. Steve Marlowe is our white hat tonight. DJ Lagway has thrown 2 interceptions against 1 touchdown, and Kentucky coughed it up on a muffed punt return. Neither side has played clean football tonight. The ruling on the field, by the way, was that Boley was down. So they'll have to have clear and convincing evidence to overturn this. It was an immediate recovery by Devin Moore. or pardon me, by Aaron Childs.
I think there was. I think there's enough to overturn that. You definitely see it come out before the knee was down. I think the ball is squirting around as he tries to land on it.
My curiosity for Florida, another look at this. Definitely loose.
Yeah, and he doesn't regain control with that right hand before it squirts away, and then
After further review, the ball carrier fumbled the ball. It was recovered by the defense. It'll be first down at the 22-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 22 seconds.
So regardless of if Florida takes a shot with 22 seconds left in the half, I just wonder how you can get DJ Lagway back in a frame of mind where you can score enough points to get back in this game and find some explosives, or is the second half enough just to try and grind this thing out if you're Florida down 17?
Yeah, I think get him back in rhythm first. And I think early in this game, quick game, looked good. His feet were fast. The ball was coming out on time. Still got Vernell Brown out there. Get this ball to your playmakers in space. Let them try to make somebody miss. See if they can't get some yards after the catch. Obviously, I don't think they're going to have enough time here to get downfield unless this play spits for 20 or 30 on this first play.
It's Baugh and Jaden Baugh to the left side. There's a flag on the play.
Holding. Defense number 95. 10-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
All right, so 14 seconds left in a pair of timeouts for Florida.
Please reset the game clock to 16 seconds. 1-6.
You're going to see
And the game clock
as
will
this
start
play
on the
develops,
snap.
Smith is just going to try to grab two offensive linemen. Grabs Harris and another there. Good call by the back judge.
.16 seconds and a spike. How often did you see a spike out of the shot?
I was just going to say, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Florida down 17. Their largest deficit come back from on the road.
Please reset the game clock to 15 seconds.
In 2003, when the Gators were down 18 and came back to win.
Probably need 30 yards here to get in the field goal range, so you can hit something over the middle of the field still with 2 timeouts, but you got to get down quick or you'll waste too much time.
Lagway sidearms it out. It's picked up again. Third of the game. This one belongs to David Rayner. Two picks for Kentucky have come on tips.
1-0. Thank you.
They're just going to try to hit.
Please reset to
Jaden
12
Baugh on the
seconds.
flats here. And
1-2, 12 seconds. Thank you.
Ball is behind. He does have a defender falling into his legs there, but I think that was just a miss. Tried to sidearm that one and left it too far inside. Baugh did his best to bring that down, but well,
Why not?
Kentucky's got a couple timeouts.
Ball in the second quarter. 10 for 11.
Seth McGowan was going to go to the locker room early. Now he's back running, sprinting up the sideline, ready to go back in.
Boley looking for Hester, and he's intercepted. It's Bryce Thornton who slid underneath it. These teams playing hot potato here late in the second quarter.
Yeah, this is a inexperienced mistake.
Please reset the game clock to
from Cutter Boley. He's got a cover 2 look to that side. You cannot try to throw a hole shot into that cover 2 to a single receiver side because you have nobody holding the corner there. Devin Moore, who's pointing to the safety, Bryce Thornton. Cutter knows he made a mistake there. The receiver inside released versus cover 2 to a single receiver side. That's about 2 or 3 things that tell the quarterback, no, throw to the other side, or move on, or check the ball down, or run it.
Florida won't take any chances. They'll take a knee, referencing that 0-3 18-point comeback. Chris Leak was the Florida quarterback. He threw 2 touchdowns in that game, but he also threw a pair of interceptions. And now Lagley try to repeat the Leak performance with a strong second half. DJ Lagway 11 of 19, 83 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Cutter Boley 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. A 21-point second quarter for Kentucky gave them the lead, and 4 turnovers in the last 7 plays to end the half. That got weird. But remember last time we were here, we saw 3 fumbles on 1 play.
Something about you in Lexington.
Football's a grease pig going back to the county fair. Cats will get the second half kickoff. Mark Stoops has looked at this game and this rivalry as a barometer for where his program has been back to 2018 when they snapped that long losing streak, and he might be a little bit peeved about the turnovers. Let's get you down the field. Mark Stoops with Cole Kubler.
I'm going to try to get you to block out the last 2.5 minutes of that football game. Your quarterback was in rhythm. Your offense was going early. How do you continue that in the second half?
Yeah, the first 2-minute drive was good, right? And then after that, I don't even know what happened. I got to go back and process that. But you know, I feel like we're playing good in all 3 phases. You know, obviously we can't have a fumbled punt return. We got to clean that up. But you know, taking care of the football, that's a big thing. We have a chance to really take a commanding lead, getting the ball in the second half. We just can't turn it over there.
How does Brad continue to show some of the things defensively to keep causing confusion for Florida's offense in the second half?
Well, we just got to continue to be disruptive, mixing it up. I thought you know, the guys are playing well. We're disguising some coverages, making some plays. So just got to keep it going. It's going to be a 4-quarter game.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Highest scoring quarter this season for Kentucky, and it's a 24-7 lead at the half. And now let's get to the studio. And here is Darian again.
Wildcat fans, give it up one more time for your Wildcat Marching Band. The Wildcat Marching Band is under the direction of Dr. Shayna Stahl and assistant
Welcome back to SEC Saturday Night, presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. From Kroger Field in Lexington, Kentucky took control of this game with a fantastic second quarter. DJ Lagway has thrown 3 interceptions. Cutter Boley has put the ball on the ground as well. 24-7 lead. Welcome back. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. How do you see the first half?
Well, it was Cutter Boley in this offense for Kentucky waking up. We saw him last week against Auburn, a slow start, finally got a touchdown later in that game, but they've been pushing the ball downfield, something we haven't seen from this Kentucky offense really at all this year. Cutter Boley's been excellent.
Well, on the other side, DJ Lagway has struggled with the 3 interceptions. Kentucky will get the ball to start the second half. How can they get Lagway back on track?
Well, they got to get the run game going first. You get Jaden Baugh going, it sucks those linebackers down, opens up some bigger holes in that second level. That's where they really thrive. DJ's just been out of rhythm. Footwork's been a little bit all over the place. Get the run game going and get the quick passing game going. Get the ball in the perimeter to your speedsters. Let them try to get some yards and take some pressure off DJ Lagway.
Kentucky will be dealing with some injuries in the second half. We saw Alex Safari Jr. in a boot. More on that in a moment. That kickoff to the back of the end zone as we look at our high-speed highlights brought to you by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Yeah, these are the throws I was talking about with Cutter Boley downfield to the perimeter. Started with this one, back shoulder throw right there to J.J. Hester for the touchdown. Another back shoulder to the running back Patterson for a touchdown. And then finding Kendrick Law on the perimeter, allowing your dynamic athlete to get the ball in his hands and make some plays. And a great hole shot there in zone coverage to Jamori Macklin as well. He has been so good downfield. An area where he struggled this year. He came into the game one of the worst in all of college football on those 20-plus yard throws downfield. He's been excellent tonight.
So we start the second half. Kendrick Law goes in motion. And Boley spits it out to the tight end. Caddis took a huge hit. Billy Gonzalez is the 8th different acting head coach over the last 12 years of the Florida program. Cole, you caught up with him at the half. What do you have to say?
Well, I asked him, how do you get DJ Lagway calmed down? And he said, I have assistant coaches. I'm going to let them talk to them. I spoke to them. They're going to go handle that. I said, what do you want to try to change offensively in the second half? He said, don't turn the ball over. Essentially, that was it. Says, likes the aggressiveness that he's getting from most of his team, but cannot continue to turn the football over.
It was sloppy, to say the least. McGowan tried to bounce away. Instead, he got swallowed up by Brendan Beck.
That was something that Bush Hamden mentioned. Seth McGowan bouncing those runs a little bit too much last week against Auburn. We talked to Seth about it. He goes, look, I played in JUCO. I played at New Mexico State. Sometimes those blocking schemes aren't as clean as they are at this level. I kind of had to learn how to create. So trying to break some of those bad habits. Now he's got a little more consistent blocking in front of him here at Kentucky.
Yeah, he insisted it wasn't always a clean look. Boley steps up. He's going to try to run for it. Then he breaks from the pocket to pick up the first down with his legs. And the pile moves all the way past the 40.
And this is exactly what Bush Hamden was talking about when we talked to him a couple days ago. The ability to go through your progressions quickly. 1 to 2, you see him looking to the right. It's not there. Get vertical. Don't try to escape the pocket back into the side. A lot of times quarterbacks, that's where you're comfortable, right? Escaping deeper. But often those runs much more successful when you get vertical and punch the bubble of the pocket. Great job there by Boley.
Devin Moore is being helped off the field, assisted by the athletic training staff. This is a Florida secondary. As you see Boley's improvement after the opening drive. Florida secondary is without 4 key players in their game against Mississippi State. They mostly got all of those guys back, and that includes Jordan Castell, the safety, who missed his first game all the way back through high school. Started last week against Georgia and back out there tonight. Boley rolls the pocket and he gets rid of it to Kendrick Law. He had nowhere to go. He was blanketed by Sharif Denson.
Denson finally getting the better of Kendrick Law. That matchup went in Kendrick's favor a few times in that first half. It's going to be about adjustments, right? Kentucky found a nice little wrinkle moving Kendrick Law from one side of the field to the other, forcing Denson to come down out of the back of the defense and guard him in space.
Boley Finds Law, can't escape, and Gums throws him to the ground. Boley picked up a first down with his legs to extend this possession a few plays ago, and now they look at a 3rd and 7. Their average distance to gain 5.5 yards.
Yeah, this is where this pass rush, George Gums working on right tackle. Alex Wolschlager's got to get some pressure on Cutter Boley here in a passing situation, see if they can't force a punt and get this offense back out on the field.
That's Gilmore in motion, 4 wide, and Law picks up the blitzing back, complete to the perimeter to Fred Ferrier II, who had 2 huge catches in the 4th quarter of the win against Auburn, and now the veteran from Frankfurt back at it again second half tonight.
That's just so good from Cutter Boley, staring in the face of the pressure and finding that void in the secondary. He just, the decisions, the accuracy, night and day different from the guy we saw last week against Auburn.
They flip Willie Rodriguez to the right side. Opening possession second half for Kentucky. Seth McGowan tried to get vertical, and he ends up picking up 5 before Denson brings him down. Go, what are you seeing from Kentucky's O-line tonight?
Physicality, finish, or even on pass plays. I mean, listen, pass pro is not passive, but this Kentucky offensive line taking that personal tonight.
You should put that on a t-shirt.
I would love that, actually. Maybe Joe Moore Award. We figure out how to get a little extra NIL money going to some folks with that.
Well, you guys are handing out gear to everybody else. Jordan and I can't even get a hoodie.
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
You got to talk with some O-line play if you're going to do that and get that.
Here's McGowan. Great blocking downfield, and McGowan picks up the first down before Aaron Childs brings him down.
I will tell you one thing that has stuck out is 75. Joshua Braun, a little extra tonight. Can tell that he may have been in that Florida offensive line run at one point in his career. Trying to show a little extra here.
Both guards for Kentucky have played at Florida. Braun on the left side, Jalen Farmer on the right side, and Braun comes in the highest rated Kentucky player on EA College Football 26. And if you're not using video games for reference points, you're not doing it right. McGowan and fights for extra yardage. You can see on his last 2 runs, Jordan, exactly what you talked about. Instead of trying to stretch it outside, he's finding just a little bit of daylight on the interior.
Yeah, this is a play where maybe as he gets through the initial right here, maybe he tries to push that to the outside, instead sticks his foot in the ground and probably gets 5 or 6 extra yards by not bouncing that run.
He's outgained Florida on the ground so far tonight. 10th play of this second half opening drive. McGowan again. That's good for the first down. But wrong with the stop for Florida. Balanced attack to start the second half for the Cats.
And it's really the predicament that Ron Roberts, the defense coordinator for Florida, is in. He's got to slow down these long drives, add to the box to slow down the run, but every time you blitz, Cutter's had the answer. He's gotten the ball out quickly and attacked the void that the blitz left. So don't know what you do. Just got to tackle better in space.
Now it's Dante Dowdell, and he nearly broke free. Kentucky, by the way, trying to snap a 10-game home conference losing streak. Already 41 yards on the ground this half. This drive after 65 in the first half for Kentucky. Out of the pistol. Dowdell spelling McGowan in the backfield. Dowdell straight ahead. And he bowls over a Gator at the 5. Ran right through the entire congregation. It'll be first and goal at the 5-yard line.
Boy, Cole wanted us to talk some O-line. Watch Shiaz, Pete, and Joshua Braun.
This should get us gear.
Oh, absolutely. Just slam down the defensive line there, create a huge hole for Dowdell.
And now McGowan back in. Great work by Dowdell. They overload the right side, unbalanced. And it's a direct snap. McGowan, he is in. And a thriller run for Seth McGowan. 5-yard plunge after he did all of the work to begin with.
Boy, Florida did not adjust to this at all. Look at, there is nobody to the right side of who is actually the tackle, but because of the extra offensive lineman, she has Pete on that side.
We need to watch Pete's block again right there. I mean, that was an ear hole pancake.
I know McGowan is an old soul, but how does he know the Michael Jackson Thriller dance?
Thriller.
Close to midnight. Kentucky's got 31 on the board. Another offensive explosion. Boley sold the fake, and McGowan puts on his JoJo Kemp jersey for the direct snap, and a thrilling lead for the Cats. So we got a special Fansville brought to you by Dr. Pepper tonight. On this Veterans Weekend, we're honoring the parents of these Kentucky players, including Tamika Lovett, Jordan Lovett's mom, retired Sergeant Major in the Army. She has Pete's dad, Natani, retired captain in the Army. Jacob and Gerard Smith, his dad Gerard is a retired Master Sergeant in the Marine Corps, retired in July. Then there's the Braun family. Mike played football at West Point, while wife Karen was a 4-year starter on the basketball team and is 4th in school history in career rebounds and rebounds per game. They were stationed in Germany during Operation Desert Storm. Dad was a field artillery officer with a short-range nuke unit, and Mom was a quartermaster officer of a unit servicing those deployed to Desert Storm. So thank you to all for your service, and that includes guys in our crew, including our mobile unit driver, David Carpenter, who's in the Army from 88 to 94, and our guy up in the booth, our A2 David Myers, U.S. Army Infantry for 27 years, a Bronze Star, Meritorious Service Medal, Army Commendation Medal, 4 times, Army Achievement Medal 8 times, and he saved us when our power went down in the booth at LSU, like he was back in the field. Here's David going to work, getting it done.
Directing traffic.
We got a new quarterback for Florida. Tramel Jones Jr., freshman at a Mandarin High School in Jacksonville, finally gets an opportunity. He's thrown 18 passes this season coming in. You surprised they go to him here?
No, not at all. DJ has struggled, get the young kids some looks. Billy Gonzalez said he's kind of a gamer. Man, he's just got something to him when the lights flip on. It doesn't always look perfect, but he's got a way and a knack of making plays.
4-man rush, and that is a laser to the perimeter. Incomplete to TJ Abrams.
And that's the other thing, a really natural thrower of the football. My former offensive coordinator, John Donovan, is on staff with Florida. I was talking to him on the field last week and again this week before the game. He's like, kid's got a natural arm. It jumps out of his hand. DJ's obviously a very talented kid as well.
And DJ still has the helmet on. See if they rotate him here in the second half. As Bogg, what a stiff arm. Whew. Putting Nasir Addison on skates and picked up the first down.
You don't want to see an angry Jaden Baugh in the open field. He's got 57 forced missed tackles coming into this game on the year. That's 6th best in the FBS. And he says, Addison, hey, dude, get in the weight room. Oh, nasty stiff arm there.
Jones pulls it back. Got ball and a check down. He said he'll keep it, and he scrambles out of bounds. The vocal Florida fans who complain about DJ Lagway's inconsistencies over the course of the season kept asking for this, an opportunity for Tramel Jones Jr. to show what he can do. And now, first possession of the second half, they go to him.
And that's a little bit of a wrinkle right there. I mean, DJ's a good athlete when he gets going downhill. Tramel a little more twitchy, right? So he can turn the corner on a defense with his athleticism right there. Bought his way out of some pressure and picked up a few yards.
2nd and 6. And a handoff to Baugh. Finds nothing. It is a steep hill for Florida. Gators trailed 17 at the half. They haven't overcome a 17-point halftime deficit to win in the last 60 seasons. Largest comeback in that span came against Tennessee in 2015, where they're down 10. And good on 3rd down tonight.
Empty protection here. Tramel Jones got to be ready for an extra blitzer if they bring one and have a quick answer. They're going to drop out.
4-man rush. Jones to the right, wanting to throw, and couldn't turn the corner. Got a shove in the back to force him out of bounds, going that way anyway by Jaden Williams. And now 4th down, and they'll keep the offense on the field. Why not? It's both interesting and a little disappointing that it takes us to get to interim head coach situations for staffs to roll the dice on 4th down. They're 4 of 10. That one said 123rd in the season. The play clock is down to 2. And he rips it near side, complete for the first down to J. Michael Sturdivant.
Well, that is a heck of a throw from Tramel Jones. That is just a stop route on the outside, 8 to 10 yards. As soon as that right foot hits the ground on his 3rd step, the ball's out. And if the timing is not perfect there, that ball is either intercepted or incomplete. We've been talking about urgency and footwork for DJ Lagway not having it. Tramel Jones right there. Great feet, accurate throw on 4th down.
Meanwhile, Bryce Lovett is smoking hot. He lost his helmet, then he was chirping, and it took a teammate to hold him back to get him off the field. And they'll try to get that temperature down for the 3rd-year sophomore at Rockledge High School in Florida.
After the play of sportsmanlike conduct number 53 of the offense.
It's going to cost
15-yard penalty. This is first of the game.
Billy Gonzalez
It'll be
asking
first
him what
and 10.
happened.
Yeah, they love Bryce Lovett's talent. Ton of upside, a lot of inconsistency, which is why he's playing behind Caden Jones most of the time. But let's take a look at right down there is where the action's going.
And then the rest of it happened out of frame. But Jake Slaughter, pardon me, that wasn't Slaughter, Austin Barber had to act as a doorman, help him outside. Back foot throw falling out of bounds, never left the pocket. Was there a receiver there? I don't think there was. And they're discussing intentional grounding. Mark Stoops is waiting for the flag.
Foul there for intentional grounding. There was an eligible receiver in the area. Second down.
Keep in mind here, Tom, no Sam Green, no Jordan Lovett, no Alex Safari for this Kentucky defense that's taking the field here in the second half.
Safari out with an ankle injury. Saw him in a boot.
Lovett came out with the knee brace on, and Sam Green on crutches as he came out of the locker room for the second half.
2nd and 10, batted and into the hands of Baugh, and he gets taken down immediately.
That's you know, like the Madden curse back in the day. Alex Safari and Sam Green were both my impact players, so should maybe be a little more careful with who I choose.
Did you also pick the impact flights that we all got canceled for tomorrow?
I know. There were 30 minutes to kick. I was down on the field. Oh, flight's canceled tomorrow. Oh boy.
So Kentucky's defensive depth is going to have to pick it up. But Florida looking at a 3rd and 12 behind freshman quarterback Tramel Jones Jr. Jones happy feet again, finds Ball. What a fantastic security blanket, and that's going to leave 4th and a couple. JQ Hardaway with the stop, 4th and a long one, it looks like.
And Kentucky only rushed 2 guys on that time. It was drop 9. They had 2 guys with eyes on Tramel Jones, respecting the legs, and you already rolled the dice once. Might as well roll the dice again.
It's been the 11th play of the drive. Already used nearly 5 minutes on this possession. Late sub for Kentucky. Play clock will start now. The game clock. 3-point stance in the backfield for Jaden Baugh. Here he is on the left side. And he picks up the first down. It's the last time you saw a running back get a 3-point stance.
Well, not since the running backs still had the bar down the middle of their face mask.
Right.
Or no face masks.
Cole, did you see Najee Harris carry his block 20 yards downfield alongside Tony Livingston?
That might make the block party on Monday night on Read and React. About a 15-yard double team. That was nice.
How many guys usually make the block party?
You're all invited.
Okay.
Anywhere from
Is there a cover charge?
7 to 8, depending on where George wants to cut me off, which he always tries to do.
Here comes pressure. And a sack. David Rayner. For Kentucky defense, which lit up Auburn with pressure last week. First of the night, it's a loss of 10.
Boy, it was just great effort. You're going to see Rayner's going to come in here, and you're going to get a handful of guys just compressing that pocket into the lap of Tramel Jones.
It's a slide buster, Jordan. You know it's gap protection, so you just overload multiple gaps, understanding that one of those guys probably not going to go all the way to his gap. They're going to try to take the man, and then somebody else slips right through.
Big Jaden Williams in on the mix on that one as well.
Unloaded, and it's Hardaway. He was out of bounds, incomplete. Didn't squeeze it. Your said it all.
Yeah, like JQ Hardaway is 6'3". You're trying to squeeze a hole shot in there late. Hardaway was all over that, reading the eyes of Tramel Jones, and should have came down with that one.
That's about the third time tonight he's shown off that ridiculous length for a corner.
He really does.
6'3", yeah. Was a four-star recruit playing for Patrick Nix in high school in Columbus, Georgia. Pressure on again, and they go to the tight end, and Hayden Hansen can't break free. It's Hardaway there. And now 4th and long.
Yeah, Kentucky brought pressure from deep there, and just everybody else sitting, waiting for that quick throw. This Kentucky defense has been impressive.
76 for Florida is wearing 82.
Remember that touchdown, that was on the special teams blunder from Kentucky, right? They gave him the ball on what, like the 10-yard line. So on the 4-yard line, 13-yard line. There you go.
We playing darts?
Yeah, well, I was getting hand signals over here.
Nice checkup on the punt by Tommy Doman. It's a 33-yard punt. It'll be a long field for Kentucky, but we're almost finished with the third quarter.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. If you didn't know T-Mobile has home internet, you do now.
We're accepting Cash App now as we get late third quarter, where all the push-ups the mascot's going to have to do. Here's a game summary. 9 drives, 4 turnovers for Florida. Cutter Boley, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. No matter how you're watching us tonight, if you're a Kentucky fan, this is what you feel good about. They're now in line with a 24-point lead for second consecutive win in conference play, and to snap a 10-game home losing streak in SEC play. Little dancing, and here's McGowan. Man, he was close to breaking that one again. Devin Moore saved it.
Well, it always surprises me just seeing how twitchy Seth McGowan is at 215 pounds. He can run through you, run over you, but also stick his foot in the ground and make you miss. Kentucky will take this massive lead to the fourth quarter.
And if you were here, that would have been you on the dance floor at Austin City last night. To the fourth we go. Kentucky trying to find momentum with a third of the season remaining and plenty to accomplish. We can make dreams come true. Presented by T-Mobile 5G home internet. Tom Jordan Coley hit the fourth quarter. Largest lead for Florida since Art Still was on the Kentucky defensive line in 1979. Cats won that game 31-3. Mentioned this earlier, but Mark Stoops, when I asked him about that 2018 win, he talked about that being a benchmark win for this program under him as McGowan tries to find the edge. That was the end of 31 consecutive losses, and he said, when I got here, everybody was talking about the Florida win, and I was thinking, pump the brakes. We've got to just win a game first. We got to put this thing together. And then they had the game where we were here. They left wide receivers uncovered twice to lose at home. You went and had pizza that night, downtown Lexington. I don't remember that. I know you don't. And then they had the game in Gainesville prior to that, where it seemed like the play clock had expired in an overtime Florida win. Dante Dowdell with the first down run. And he said, we just felt like we couldn't get out of our own way. So that was a huge building block for this program. LVW's Cash Daniel was on that team. Remember his Stone Cold celebration? Smashed the water bottles together. By the way, he's now a professional wrestler. His stage name is, guess what his stage name is? I have no idea. Cash Daniel.
What's his finishing move?
I think he's putting dudes through tables.
It's not very original.
No. McGowan picks up 9. Just think about the difference, the feeling around this program after this game tonight and consecutive wins. Because Cole, you were there last week. Mark Stoops knew the value of that win when they eked it out with a blue-collar performance against Auburn.
You heard it in his voice. You saw it in his face, his emotions after that game. He knew how big it was, knew how much they needed it to go on the road. One of the more difficult places to play in this league, get that win, and to do it his way. That was a Mark Stoops blueprint game last week, kind of like the way this one's playing out here tonight.
Well, this version of Kentucky makes things interesting down the stretch.
No doubt about it. And what's still in the windshield for Kentucky and the accomplishment, look at how they climbed win after win. 28 got to 10 wins, again in 21. And the variance now in 2025 with the win today, you could still get up to 8 with a win out and a bowl victory, and you could make a lot of noise. With games against a couple of playoff contending teams remaining on the schedule. Huge hole. Here goes Dante Dowdell. Dowdell inside the 10 into the end zone. 65-yard sprint for Dante Dowdell.
Watch Joshua Braun right here. He's going to get 1 block, redirect, and get 2 blocks. Cole's going to love this. Even knocks over Jagger Burton, his center. Get out the way, son. Gets 2 blocks, plowing the road for Dante Dowdell.
Jacob Callaway for the point after.
Cole, you said you wanted offensive line breakdowns.
I love it. You guys got Joe Moore underwear coming your way.
Dowdell ran right out of his boxers on this one. Down the middle of the field, and the Cats have it rolling up 31. Dante Dowdell has a 100-yard night on only 7 totes, and McGowan's got 2 touchdowns on the ground. Cats lead by 31. No return. We got to pay some bills. Downtown Lexington, and here on campus, the big lead. Oh, no. Oh, you can't. That was amazing. That was amazing. I am so jealous that Dari got that in.
Wait, what's he talking about?
Tremel Jones Jr. hands it off, and nice run by Jaden Baugh. This Kentucky offense has been flowing like a water main break tonight. 38 points on the board, including a 21-point second quarter.
Yeah, Maine just broke out inside the stadium, so it'll be fun getting home tonight.
We're going to surf down Waller Street. How do you feel about that? Might be the easiest way to get home for us with all the flight cancellations. Anybody out there with a PJ who wants to give us a lift to Atlanta?
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'd take it. Or we could just cannonball run it. Great effort, Cole, by Jaden Baugh, the sophomore who's from Atlanta out of Columbia High School. Has been the featured back the last 2 seasons for Florida, and he is some kind of talent.
Yeah, he's so much fun to watch. And I can remember the first time I saw him in the spring game a couple of years ago, I texted a couple guys on staff. They're like, yeah, he's 235. And you watch his wiggle, just being able to shake guys in the open field. When he would truck people, you would get it. But, man, He does not move like he's 235 pounds. You guys mentioned it earlier. That coaching staff telling us just as good as a receiver as he is a running back. Love him in pass protection also. Just total package. Asked Rob Sale about him before the game. He said, man, he's just a good old country boy. That's all he is. He loves football, does everything he's asked to do. Has really focused in on his tracks and his reads and his vision this offseason, and it's made him even better back for this Florida team.
Well, he was a Wildcat quarterback in high school, also played wide receiver and DB. He had 6 picks as a senior in high school. 4-man rush. And Hansen bobbled it but couldn't squeeze it.
I talked to Glenn Schumann last week. Schumann recruited him out of high school, wanted him as a linebacker.
Yeah, I heard that story when you were with
he goes, well, I think he made the better choice. I think he would have been a good linebacker, but so dynamic as a running back. Probably would have been a good linebacker, man. Physical, rangy.
On the offensive side, Bama, Miami, Tennessee, and Texas were recruiting him as a running back. And as you mentioned, Georgia wanted him on the defensive side of the ball. Tramel Jones Jr. getting plenty of playing time here in the second half. We have not seen DJ Lagway since halftime, and here's Baugh again. What a run. What a runner. He is nearly impossible to bring down. We're talking to Brad White, Kentucky's defensive coordinator, about him, and he said it's not just his run-through ability, it's also his jump cut ability. And he's going to get a rare breather now. He's earned it. 6th in the country in forced missed tackles. When they tried to hand it off to Byron Lewis, and he had nowhere to go.
Gusta.
Or Gusta, but by any name, the senior from San Bernardino is a great player, and he was fun to visit with this week.
No doubt, the transfer from Washington State. What do you say? He was 235 pounds in high school?
Yeah.
A safety.
Yeah.
He collects anime figurines. He said, my trip to Japan was the most expensive trip ever. He got a whole wall of figurines. A big Star Wars fan.
He told us his favorite, but I can't even pretend like I wrote it down correctly to even try to pronounce it correctly. Probably butcher it worse than I did his last name.
Yeah. Well, Gusta means like, so that's good. Jones pressured from behind, an incomplete turnover on downs. Trying to find Vernell Brown III. We'll see if Cutter Boley comes out for this next possession or if it's Calzada's turn.
Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. If you didn't know T-Mobile has home internet, you do now.
This was the end of the 31-game losing streak. It was the fourth longest in NCAA history in an uninterrupted series behind Notre Dame over Navy, Nebraska over KU, and Oklahoma over Kansas State from the 60s. Kentucky had lost 3 of the last 4 by 6 or fewer. And that was the drama. Kentucky's going to change it up at quarterback. Bo Allen comes in. We're told that Zach Calzada is available for this game despite the transgressions this week you may have read about. But they love what Bo Allen has done as well. And room on the left side for Jason Patterson. We were down there for that game at the Swamp in 2018. And we shot an open where we kind of did the Wayne and Garth thing going back to 1987. Our boss at the time wouldn't allow us to air it.
Yeah.
I thought it was clever.
I thought it was our best work to date.
We put hair on Cole's head. You brought rock t-shirts from the 80s. Here's Patterson again.
Well, we're here and he's on Monday Night Football, so.
Yeah, well, somebody's doing it right here. Here was our trio. This was in Gainesville, and Jordan was the one that found the t-shirts, and that's how we ended it. Cole's wearing Subas. And that's just good television. I can't believe we weren't. I can't believe we weren't allowed to air that.
What were we doing?
What was the problem with it?
And that's how you end up on the same show for 8 straight years. 9. Dang it. Patterson took a hit, spun, and then got taken down by the ankle by Shareek Denson.
Cole looked great with hair.
Where did we get those pants?
You had them in your locker. Bo Allen has been back and forth from Kentucky. He then went to Tarleton, where he was the WAC newcomer of the year. Then Georgia Southern, and now he's back. And he spells Cutter Bully. Will finish the night 18 of 23 for 168. And 2 touchdowns and a pick. Patterson brought down by Denson. I remember specifically the mood around the program in 2018, this Kentucky program. And by the way, I don't remember thinking about Florida, oh, this is a red flag. They're about to go in the tank and go through 2 more coaches. It was just as Florida does.
Yeah, I think it spoke more to Kentucky's trajectory and what Stoops had done to that point and where they were headed.
Benny Snell and Terry Wilson were the offensive stars that night. Then Cash Daniel did his celebration. He told me a couple years ago, he said, I hated that moment because I've never been above the team, and I felt that celebration made it seem like I was above the team. But that was a hard-working group to put a bunch of guys in the league.
Yeah, they did. I'm really that defense and both sides of the football.
Mike Edwards was on that team at safety, and Josh Allen was a D end that was on his way.
I think they had a corner too.
Thanks for the help, Cole.
I don't recall a corner being on that team that was in the league.
Really?
I think they had 5 draft picks, if I'm not mistaken. 4th and 5. Farrier in motion. That was a 10-win season for the Cats. Bo Allen trying to scramble on 4th down. The ball comes squirting out, scooped up by Florida. It would be a turnover on downs regardless, but Gums may have a fumble recovery if it's not an incomplete pass. Seems like a moot point. 31
on the
point
field
game.
is a fumble recovered by the
6:09 to go.
defense.
But then let's turn that forward. Everything that Mark Stoops was then able to accomplish, becoming the all-time winningest coach in Kentucky history, and then going down to Auburn with seemingly his job on the line last week. Won that one in a nail-biter and a comfortable lead here tonight against his old nemesis. Georgia won by 20, comfortable in Stark Vegas. A&M control early to take down Mizzou. And Vandy needed overtime, but still in the playoff hunt by knocking off Auburn. By the way, Ole Miss won 49-0 over Citadel. Lane Kiffin at the halftime interview on their radio network was asked what he thought of the first half, and he started talking about the Georgia-Mississippi State game. Huh.
Also photo-bombed an engagement. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
How did you guys have time for this? I was busy trying to rebook flights. Katie Daniels picks up a few. Anybody come through with the PJ to Atlanta yet?
Not yet, you know.
Okay.
Really, I'll take a PJ to any major airport at this point.
I take it to a minor airport. Get me closer. Katie Daniels is in at tailback. Jaden Baugh, 17 carries, 64 yards. Pressure. Dumped out of bounds.
At that time, Cedric Works, true freshman, getting the pressure on Tramel Jones.
You had the Florida-Georgia game last week in Jacksonville, and I always feel like that first game after your head coach has been fired, you get an interim, a guy that you like, a guy that knows the program. You get that first game bump.
Yes.
And in addition to that, with all these 4- and 5-star guys, it's a huge game in a sold-out stadium against Georgia. It's really hard to carry that on to the next week. They set up a screen, and Daniels breaks free, picks up the first down. You agree with that assessment?
Yeah, we were talking to Kirby Smart before the game, and he called it interim juice. And he said, I spoke to my team directly. This team's going to come out with a different energy and passion because of the changeover. But he said interim juice isn't built to last 4 quarters. It's not built to last multiple weeks. When you weather the storm, you come out on the other side of it. You got a chance to physically put teams away. That's what Georgia struggled with for 4 quarters because Florida sustained that energy pretty well. But you saw it here against Kentucky early on. A couple big plays from Florida, and then Kentucky just leaned on them.
There was one exception to that, and that happened in Gainesville in 1984. Charlie Pell was fired early in the season because of an NCAA report that outlined rules and recruiting violations. So the offensive coordinator took over. Galen Hall didn't lose a game the rest of the way. He went 8-0 and was named the SEC Coach of the Year as an interim head coach. Wow.
So he's the reason all these guys are afraid of having interims for the back half of the season, huh?
Yeah, you never know.
I think there's that little bit of unknown as well, Tom. Especially in the case last week, you had 2 weeks to prepare for that game, but I mean, a lot of guys get let go because of stubbornness and don't want to change things. All of a sudden, staff comes in, a new guy plays a little bit more. You give some different formations, different looks.
Jones on the rollout delivers to his tight end. That's Tony Livingston. Hey, one other thing that just hit me about Tramel Jones getting the opportunity tonight. We talked with Russ Callaway, the offensive coordinator, and he pointed out that they really simplified the checks for DJ Lagway in terms of limiting all of these options. We're going to pair this one pass, or these, say, 8 passes with this one run concept. I would guess that makes it simpler for Tramel Jones as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, the simplification of this offense has been in the works for a couple weeks. And obviously now you have even more of a limited package with your young true freshman quarterback. Realistically, when you got a true freshman out there in a game, you probably have 8 to 10 pass concepts, maybe at most, that you
what would be normal for an established quarterback?
Oh, up above 20 different concepts at least. They can run those at different formations, personnel groupings. You can dress them up, dress them down. But it's not a lot that you're working with. It's how many different ways can you make this simple concept that he's used to look a little different. Change the launch angle, get him outside the pocket as we've seen a few times. It's really limits the game plan.
Lets it go to the end zone and a little bit short. And incomplete, trying to find Hayden Hansen. By the way, this is the Florida team that goes to Oxford next week. And then they get Tennessee. and then Florida State. It was one of the toughest schedules in the country coming into the year, and that was before they fired their head coach.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier, especially when you don't really have anything to play for, right? Guys have kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, looking to the future. Obviously, you still have the chance to get to a bowl game.
Tramel Jones fires on comeback, and that was knocked away, incomplete. That will leave 4th and 9. Vernell Brown, the third. It's a tough ask for a program in Florida's situation with the red shirt rule and with the transfer portal. Billy Gonzalez has a lot of heavy lifting to do to try and close this season out on a positive note. Mel Jones, 8 of 16 for 57 yards tonight. He's played the entirety of the second half. And he slings it out of the backfield to his running back, and K.D. Daniels stopped, and it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, just another one of those rookie mistakes, right? That is the right decision if it's 2nd down. Check it down. 4th down, got to throw it past the sticks.
Let's get it to our friends at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
The only thing better than Thanksgiving is deep fried Thanksgiving.
But what a turn of events for Mark Stoops. And he can barely hold back the smile.
It's been a roller coaster of a season. Obviously starting the year with a transfer quarterback in Zach Calzada, not starting the way you want to, handing the reins over to your young quarterback, Cutter Boley. You've had some ups and downs, some good, some bad. Last 2 weeks have looked very different. Right, one defensive battle that you gutted out and won. This one offensively, everything seemingly clicking for Cutter Boley, Bush Hamden in this offense.
2-minute timeout.
Cutter Boley's hair looks like the wigs we had on in 18. last 30-point loss for Florida against an unranked team came in 1970. The last 30-point win against a conference opponent for Kentucky came in 98. Programs going in different directions. And started this game by mentioning there was still, including tonight's game, a third of the regular season remaining for both sides.
That just feels wild,
doesn't it? I mean, because we've all decided what seasons are by the first week of November, even though there's so much left to play. And Kentucky still aiming for a bowl. Those odds would have dropped precipitously, it's a big word, if they would have lost tonight.
Yeah, and a tough road, right? Vandy, Louisville on that schedule, but a chance to not only get to a bowl, but a chance to play spoiler to some regional rivals that have their sights set on the college football playoff.
Bo Allen has played the last couple of series for the Cats. They go ahead for a first down run. Tennessee Tech is 10-0. Oh yeah. Be here for an afternoon game next week.
Tom, you brought up a lot of those Kentucky teams that we covered 5-8 years ago. Think about the job this would be for Mark Stoops, how he's kept this team together. Jordan mentioned it, one starting quarterback, you go to a different quarterback. A lot of people were mailing this team in 3-4 weeks ago.
Does it change? Does the team struggles change in the NIL era when the players you're leaning on receive big paychecks to come here? Or does that matter?
I think it matters because it might not mean as much to those individuals. It might be more about the paycheck. It might be harder to rally them together, go out and try to continue to accomplish things.
We know it means a lot to Mark Stoops. His program, this city, and this state mean a lot to him. And he spoke to us about that this is very week. He was emotional in his post-game interview last week after the win against Auburn. This one more matter of fact. First 30-point conference win for this program since they took care of Vandy in the same fashion in 1998. An FCS opponent awaits next week. And then a chance to play spoiler. And now an opportunity to talk with our Cole Kublik. Cole?
Well, last week you were ready to cry. I imagine this week you're ready to smile after that one.
Yeah, definitely. Proud of our guys. You know, it's been a tough year. I love the way we've been playing last couple weeks. They've always kept the faith. They're playing really hard. So really proud of our guys.
What do you lean on in some of those times of adversity with this team when 2, 3, 4 weeks ago it did feel like people were ready to mail you guys in?
That's who we are, man. You know that. That ain't going to change. They're going to swing. We're going to swing back. And I'm just really proud of them for responding. But, you know, for me, that's easy. But really proud of the team and the coaches for responding the right way.
Feels like you got a quarterback that's growing up almost weekly right in front of our eyes, making better decisions, making different plays. How much has he helped this team sort of propel the last few weeks?
That he's helped an awful lot because he gives everybody hope. He's making people better. And, you know, I thought we gave him good time. I thought he made good decisions. Still made a few freshman mistakes, but that's going to happen. So, you know, Cutter's done a heck of a job. And I feel like the guys are playing better around him now.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
I was at a practice early last season. Mark Stoops pointed to Cutter Bully and said, that guy, that freshman is the future of our program. And after the question marks early in the season, Boley took over the starting spot, and the defense has picked him up when they have faltered. 3 picks tonight for Kentucky's defense in a big blue win. Here's Dari.
I talked to Eric Wolford, your offensive line coach, for the game, and I said, what do you need to see early? He said, we need to lead.